If I were in politics and running for the office, what policies would I introduce to win? Let's play a little game today, pretending that I would like to run for the office. Well, I hope I look the part. What exactly would I do? What policies would I promise to introduce? How would I try to win your vote to win this election? My name is Catherine Islam from About Retirement. I'm certified financial planner, and you are watching About Retirement TV, the place where you can find most of the answers about financial topics when preparing for your retirement, or if you have already retired and would like to improve your financial outcomes. Today, more than 50% of voters are aged 50 or more. Therefore, retirement issues are no longer an additional topic, but rather should be treated by either party as a very much crucial and deciding factor. That includes topics such as superannuation, retirement income streams, age pension, housing, healthcare, aged care, and cost of living. It is not really difficult to figure out that in order to win any election, you just must satisfy the needs of majority of the population, for example, pre and post retirees. Get the wish list of what they need, make great promises during the campaign time, and then, if won, deliver them with a smile and passion as promised. So what would I include on my list? Number 1, make superannuation rules reliable and stable. Stop changing superannuation rules every year with every budget. Stability and reliability of superannuation system is essential for retirement planning, and the government should stop using our retirement savings as their political agenda and political games. Number 2, financial retirement education. Although we've had the superannuation system in Australia since 1992, due to ongoing changes of rules and complexity of the system, most people don't understand how super works, how contributions work, types of contribution that could be used for future retirement benefit, and also ongoing tax benefits, how tax operates within superannuation environment, how pension funds work, or benefits and negatives of withdrawals, and the timing. Why is it that important? Tax implications or investment strategies. Therefore, I would introduce superannuation education at the workplace, in-person seminars, tools to play with to see different financial outcomes based on different behaviors with your money. Not everyone requires complex financial planning advice, so simple cases could be self-served, but we need more education and more tools provided to the public. Number 3, update and upgrade of rent assistance. I have been saying this for years. As times go by, there is a growing number of retirees renting or still carrying mortgages. Some of them might be forced to sell their home in order to retire mortgage-free, but then renting for life. Rents are rising, there is lack of affordable housing, and the rent assistance has not been keeping up with those market changes. If I were in a cabinet, this issue would be on my agenda as must fix immediately to ensure that those pensioners are able to live above the poverty line. Housing commissions has always been a joke and a real waste of taxpayers' money. Again, if I were in the government, this would need to be reviewed checked and fixed as a matter of priority. Creating affordable housing for Australians is an issue, and removal of unnecessary administration, cost, and wastage at least is a great place to start. Number 4. Improve Centerlink age pension application system. We have come across this issue on several occasions, and this is just one of the examples. And to us, it just doesn't make sense. I'm referring to one example of a couple when only one partner is eligible for age pension as the other is not of age pension age just yet. When the older partner applies for the age pension, all family assets and incomes need to be disclosed to Centrelink, even those of the younger partner that is not eligible for the benefit. Therefore, at the time, both partners are registered by the Centrelink office with only one receiving benefit if obviously eligible based on means testing. Although the Centrelink office has all the information about that family, it will not start age pension payments for the younger spouse automatically when that spouse reaches the age pension age. No, the younger partner needs to make the full application with the full assessment, although the same assessment applies to the older partner. How silly, double work for no reason, not to mention that the younger spouse might miss out on some age pension payments if the application is not submitted in the right time. This is an example of total lack of organisation, unnecessary double work and delays, not to mention stress for the family in a situation when the whole process could be automated and easily applied with huge time and financial resources saved. A big shake-up and review of Centrelink administration and processes would be my immediate priority. If you like what I've listed up until now, please hit the like button and continue watching. Number 5. Downsizing the family home. As you know, the family home is just about the only asset that is exempt from income and asset tests when applying for the age pension. But the situation changes if a retiree decides to downsize, to live in a smaller place. Suddenly, a big chunk of money becomes fully assessed for age pension calculations, and there is a risk of either a reduction or possibly even loss of age pension. Additionally, a retiree selling a big family home and then buying a new home is penalized twice with stamp duties. Huge benefit for the government and the ATO, not so much for the retiree. My solution would be introductions of pre-calculated and predetermined exemptions provided to those retirees not to have to suffer such losses at the time when they no longer work and no longer are able to save. Therefore, stamp duty concessions would be introduced in a situation of downsizing during retirement. Additionally, I would introduce the exemption of the asset's value from the proceeds of sale of the home for age pension means testing. Number 6. Over 50s to stay in the workforce. There are lots of benefits for people to stay in the workforce past the age of 50 or even 60, but that is also a benefit for the economy. So Australian government should be supporting and promoting continuation of work. To achieve this, I would introduce tax incentives, improve the work bonus system, and provide incentives to employers to keep those people in the workforce well past the age of 50 and 60. Number 7, Medicare. This is slowly getting fixed, but not as much as it should. The bulk billing is being introduced by more GP practices thanks to the government incentives, and it is great and it should only continue. However, the level of rebates for essential services should also be increased. Those essential medical costs are still too high, and especially for retirees, the medical care should be affordable, as this will keep them out of hospitals and aged care system for much longer, which means healthier and happier retirement for longer, which in turn is also beneficial for the economy of the country. Therefore, I would continue supporting and providing provisions of incentives for GP practices to provide and continue bulk billing, with in the future possible bulk billing provided by specialist practices over time. And I would review and update rebates for essential medical services. Number 8, deeming rates. I mentioned this in my last video, Federal Budget 2025. For now, we have not been updated on the government's plan in relation to the deeming rates that have been frozen since 1st July 2022. Originally for 2-year period, but with further extension for the current financial year, therefore until 30th June 2025. The question is what will happen from 1st July 2025. It is very hard to plan if 2 months prior to the possible change we have not received any confirmation from the government what the intentions are towards those deeming rates. This could potentially have a major impact on the outcome of income test and the level of age pension payable to you in the new financial year. I believe that the reason that we haven't heard any news on deeming rate fronts is just simply that the government doesn't know which way to go. Markets are volatile. There is a high possibility of interest rate reduction, which in turn impacts those deeming rates as well. So I think the government is just waiting for more clarity, but that is a very stressful strategy for all retirees that are relying on clear instructions and decisions, so they can then adjust their planning and their life and their cash flow. I believe in such uncertain and volatile environment, I would extend the freezing of the deeming rates for another year unless there is a significant rate reduction, in which case those deeming rates would be adjusted accordingly. Number 9, make financial planning advice more affordable. Our current government, run by a Labour Party with Stephen Jones as Minister for Financial Services, came up with a brilliant idea. And this is my sarcastic voice. So they came up with this brilliant idea to introduce the system of superannuation funds now providing financial advice in a way of employing of what they named qualified advisor. Those would be the people that would provide you with simplified financial advice in relation to your superannuation savings and your future retirement planning. The issue is that those people would be anything but qualified. Each financial planner has to meet the highest level of qualifications with ongoing yearly knowledge upgrades and assessments in order to meet those professional standards. In Australia, we have a huge shortage of highly qualified and experienced financial planners. I realize that. While at the same time, the number of people preparing to retire and requiring support and advice is increasing. But the introduction of mezzanine advice service that has zero experience, zero knowledge, and just a basic few hours training is a terrible and terrifying plan that will only negatively impact all retirees that might believe they are receiving a qualified and appropriate advice, which would not be the case at all. And the Minister of Financial Services should be listening to professionals, what they require, how best we can assist retirees, how best we can improve this profession fast and cost effectively with no reduction in the quality and benefits of the advice. We do not want any more pushy salespeople selling their own products. We already had that when Australian banks were providers of financial advice. What we really need is true independent advice for the benefit of all people who do require solid, true, cost-effective, easy to understand advice for their retirement planning. Therefore, as a start to find some solution and to make advice more affordable, I would, number one, introduce the full tax deduction for financial planning advice, which should include superannuation advice, contribution advice, transition to retirement advice, retirement planning advice, any type of advice necessary, and this would make advice more affordable for most Australians. Number two, ability to pay for the advice through superannuation savings. And number three, removal of all unnecessary legal requirements that do not provide any benefit to those retirees but increase the cost of advice service. So here you are, my steps to improve the financial system in the area of pre and post-retirement. Listening to me and hearing those points and my explanation, well, would you vote for me? Do you believe this would be a good plan with positive outcomes for your retirement? And which of those steps listed are the most important for you? Please list them in the comments below the video. If you enjoyed my electoral speech, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to be notified of our new videos. This is also the best way to support us. Please don't forget to visit our website aboutretirement.com.au, where you can find hundreds of articles, videos and tools to assist you with your retirement planning. And don't forget to sign up to our newsletter to be kept updated with all the changes that can impact your retirement. But if you would like to either have a discussion about a particular issue you might have, or require the full advice how to structure your savings for the most beneficial retirement, just book a meeting with us. On each page of the website there is a button, book a meeting, that will take you to our calendars where you can choose the day and time of the consultation. And now please continue watching our videos with the first recommendation, my video from the last week, Federal Budget 2025, what's in it for you. The second recommendation is Sean's very deep and interesting explanation, retirement and unused leave. We have re-recorded it due to poor sound quality of the original video. Bye for now.